Hey guys and ghouls, welcome back to Fear Given and Re-Themed. We are your hosts,
Casey,
and me, Sean, and today's episode is a continuation of most things Halloween Horror Nights, 32 or 2023. Again, this was our favorite year that we've had in a while, and we've been going for 10 plus years straight now.
Yes.
So we feel like we talked for ages in our last episode about the houses alone. We were initially going to try to do the houses and the show and the scare zones and the behind the scenes or the behind the screams tour all in one episode, and it was impossible.
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 Yes, because there's just so much good content. We didn't want to leave it out.
Yeah, the tours alone were, 9 hours total for us to go through?
Yeah, it was
about
a lot.
5.5 for the 6 house, and then 2.5, 3 for the 3 house.
Yeah, but this is going to be good, guys, because you're going to get some tidbits and you're going to get some fun facts.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, that you would never know.
Yes.
Okay, but first we're going to go through scare zones and extras and shows.
Yep. So what was our favorite scare zone? Can we start there?
Sure. My favorite scare zone was Vamp 69, Summer of Blood. This was in New York, and it was at a 60s music fest in a small town in New York. You'll jam to popular bands with fellow concert goers until Dr. Oddfellow unleashes vicious vampires on the audience. They're out for your blood.
It was like Woodstock.
I loved it.
Gosh, I wish I would have been alive for Woodstock.
Me too.
To see like
really
Jimi
cool.
Hendrix just...
I love the bus that they had in front of Mummy.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
Was it like a tour bus or was it a VW bus? I don't know.
No, it was like a school bus painted.
Okay.
Like
I think
all
they did
hippie-like.
have a VW bus elsewhere in that scare zone.
Maybe.
I
Oh,
could
they
be
did,
wrong.
I think.
They
I'm
had
not sure.
They had something, but the music was... We probably could have sat there all night. Like if we
Yeah.
had passes
If
or
I
we
was
had
a
the
s-
frequent fear pass,
If I was this character, I would like,
That's
can I
where you wanna
please
go.
be in that
you get to wear fun stuff like
dance and
60s
just
like bell bottoms,
run after people and try to bite them?
headbands. Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Something that I remember in this scare zone that I thought was really cool was, so when you do karaoke or when you go to dueling piano bars or anything with live bands, and somebody sings Sweet Caroline, everybody in the crowd
Yeah.
goes wild. And they're like, Sweet Caroline.
Ba, ba, ba.
So in this scare zone,
Yeah, I
that
have a video
was,
of it.
it was so natural. Everybody participated. It didn't matter if you were walking, if you were eating, if you were having an argument with your spouse. Everybody stopped.
You little ba,
Exactly.
ba, ba.
Everybody stopped, and the actors as well. They, and that was so cool to me. That was one of the first times we went through this zone of the night, and that song was playing, and I loved it.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
so
really
on theme. So what else? That was number one for both of us.
Yeah. Dark Zodiac was my next one.
Okay.
This was in Hollywood. And the description is Dr. Oddfellow has entered a dark dimension to harness the power of the Zodiac and live forever. He twists the signs into malevolent beings who foretell your doom. As his star rises, yours falls. So this one was a little cool. I mean,
You had this as number two?
honestly,
Okay.
I didn't like any of the scare zones this year besides Vamp 69.
Yeah,
But
a lot of
because
them
I
fell short.
like
I had another
Zodiac
favorite,
stuff,
but
then that was like my second favorite.
yeah,
Just
we
'cause it
talked
wasn't
about it.
boring.
We talked about this a little bit in the Dr. Oddfellow house in our last episode. So this kind of was supposed to expand past that. You were supposed to see all the different zodiacs in their kind of creature mashup form. It was okay. The atmosphere and the darkness and the fog in this scare zone was really good. But aside from that, the characters weren't anything to write home about. So I had this as number 3 on my list.
Yeah.
So we don't have to spend much time on it.
Okay. Jungle of Doom was the next one. Jungle of Doom Expedition Horror. This was in Central Park. So in the 1920s, Dr. Oddfellow ventured deep into the darkest jungle, performing horrific experiments on nature. Ugh, what a douchebag. Sorry. Now his monstrous creations are running amok, and are coming after you.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Scare Zone. It wasn't my worst one of this year. It was number 4 out of 5.
It's just meh.
I want them to just retheme this whole Scare Zone. Every year it's the exact same, and I'm over it.
It's like they just keep the prop there and just cover it up.
Right. The set, I would swear the sets are identical every year for at least the past 3 or 4.
They reuse sets everywhere, but
this one is almost identical, and I can't stand it. I don't like the Scare Zone. It's not scary to me. I understand why it is to some people, but
there's a lot of jump scares. But other than that, it's like meh, whatever.
yeah, I don't really like this one.
Okay, I don't think we like any of them, but anyways, we're
I like the
moving
one that
right
you
along.
don't like.
Oh,
But
yeah.
keep going. What's your next one?
My next one is Dr. Oddfellows.
Okay, that one was right at the front as soon as you go through the gate.
It's called Collection of Horror. And this is where Dr. Oddfellow will lure you into Halloween Horror Nights with the promise of immortality. As he lifts the veil on all the horrors to come, you'll soon realize you may not even survive the night.
Yeah, the opening scene at like Gates Open was neat.
Yeah.
He had he has a whistle, like it's an iconic whistle. I don't know what it was. It didn't stick in my head, so it wasn't that iconic or memorable. But apparently he had a very distinct whistle and like a melody or a tune.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
So in this one was my worst Scare Zone. I didn't enjoy it.
It was just, they didn't, what? No,
Seeing
there was,
Dr.
like,
Oddfellow
nothing.
was cool, but
Yeah, he's handsome.
He was the only character I saw in this zone other than as soon as he walked through the gates. And
Well,
he was always bombarded with people, so he didn't have the opportunity to engage with anybody. He wasn't on his own platform. He was in the crowd just kind of walking around. You could have walked right past him and never known it, other than his glowing cane.
Right.
And that was it.
I mean, I agree.
They had so much potential in this area.
I think they really wanted something that, like, would interact more. Like, remember the Pumpkin Lord?
He didn't interact
He just
at
sat
all.
in the pumpkin, and
This guy was being followed around trying to get pictures taken of himself. And so, like, I don't
he would
discredit
just
the actual actor.
I mean,
I
no,
think
it was
it
great.
was the crowd that
Just
he
bombarded
didn't
him.
have any opportunity to act.
Remember that one girl? She was just like following him around, and he was like, "Can you freaking go? Leave me alone."
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be like,
I would be super annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
put me anywhere else.
"Please stop following me.
Right.
You're definitely gonna die now."
So my second favorite Scare Zone was Shipyard 32. So tell us this was your least favorite, right?
Yeah, I did not like this one.
All right, tell us about Shipyard 32.
I never
Horrors
like-
Unhinged.
Yeah, I never like the one that's in San Francisco.
So San Francisco is near Richter's Burgers,
Yeah.
outside of previously known as disaster, earthquake, something like that, and now it's
Yeah. Earthquake.
Hogsmeade,
No.
Diagon Alley.
I don't know.
What's the Harry Potter in Universal?
Oh, it's
It's not Ollivander, so it's Hogsmeade.
no, it's Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's right outside of that, on the way to Jaws, between Jimmy Fallon and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the description of this is: enter a 1940s San Francisco shipping yard full of mysterious crates and cages bearing Dr. Oddfellow's symbol. Beware, his nightmarish oddities have now escaped, spreading fear and chaos in their wake.
Yes. So I have a few reasons why I really liked this.
Go on.
To me, it reminded me almost like a Ripley's Believe It or Not or Barnum and Bailey, kind of that freak show atmosphere, but you've literally collected them as kind of prized possessions in crates. So I took a lot of pictures in this Scare Zone. We have a picture of essentially Nosferatu in a shipping crate. That was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible makeup, incredible wardrobe, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
have a lot of good
The character was really cool.
characters.
And do you remember the cult following that came with one of the characters this year?
She's tall.
She's tall. She was on stilts. To me, she looked like a female gremlin. On stilts.
Is her name Barbara?
It is not Barbara.
What is it?
It is, so she was I believe, supposed to look like a bat. So her name given to her by fans was, drum roll,
Battalion.
Patricia.
Patricia.
Like
Ugh.
Patricia, but with
I
a
was
bat.
so close.
Oh my gosh, Barbara was
Right?
so close, like uncannily close. But
Yeah.
no, it was Patricia, and that's all I really enjoyed about those scare zones.
Oh, you just like Patricia.
She looked like a 10-foot tall gremlin, so yeah, 10-foot tall gremlin, right up my alley.
True.
Oh my goodness, you and her, uncanny.
You're gonna hurt
10-foot
your toe.
tall, half the size though. All right,
Remember,
what do we?
we live in the same house. Okay.
Instead of going to the show next, what if we skip to the extras and then we come back to the show? Because I loved the show.
Okay, that's fine. So some extras that we did was, so we go to Halloween Horror Nights every year for my birthday, which is on September 9th. So we go like around the same time of opening.
In case you want to get any birthday gifts next year.
Yeah.
September 9th.
Yeah, I like all things Halloween.
And
Anyways,
horror.
yeah.
And Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, and Taylor Swift, which, you know, doesn't match at all, but whatever.
Reputation does, but yeah.
Big
All right, sorry.
reputation. Big reputation. Or Travis Kelce, you know, the good stuff. Anyways, so we stayed at Cabana Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I love this resort because they have so much to offer, and it's really good for families. It's good for couples. They have great food. They have great, they have bowling and an arcade.
Bowling arcade. They have a lazy river.
Oh, so
That's really cool.
nice. Yeah.
The water not only looks warm, but it is also lukewarm. Get it? Luke's
Yeah.
warm, lukewarm.
Wow.
It's probably from all the pee, but that's okay.
Ew.
I'm sure they clean it ish.
I only did it once. You don't have to like tell people that. Anyways,
They also have an ice cream
they do.
shop.
It's so
That's
good.
where I counted all my little army men that we got. So,
You
do you
know,
want to tell
I'm really
the-
mad that we didn't keep those army men.
I didn't throw them out. That was you.
I know, but we could have used them for like Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we visited at Cabana Bay. They had Chucky's Twisted Playground. And they usually have like, at each of the resorts, they have like, you know, something that goes along with Halloween Horror Nights. I think in the other resorts they had like take a picture with something. I don't know.
Oh, I thought Cabana
But-
Bay was the only like official experience.
Oh, yes, it's official experience, yes, but they had,
But they had
like
other
photo
small
ops at
things.
the other
Oh
ones.
yeah. They did like decor at the bars.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So
Okay.
this one was really, really cool. This year, it was basically like you walk in and there was a bunch of just like Chucky memorabilia everywhere.
Yeah, it was a lot of different photo ops,
Yeah.
but with actual dolls of Chucky and Tiffany. Do you know the one character in Chucky that is a doll that they didn't have in this, and I was really bummed out?
Did you hear that?
No.
The rat. Oh my God.
That dang rat is
It
going to come in
is.
every episode. Apparently it wants to
We
shed
should name him.
stalks.
Guys,
What do you wanna name him?
I don't know. Guys, tell us what to name this rat.
Yep,
Give us some suggestions.
yep.
Anyways, ooh,
So-
I know what we can name him. Lil Boo. Do you hear that?
Yeah, he's like ringing bells or something,
He knows it's Christmas time.
apparently. So, you didn't answer my question. What character from Child's Play was not in this photo op? Tiffany was there. Chucky was there. My favorite character.
Glenn.
Yes, Glenn, Glinda.
Glenn and Glenda.
I love
I have a fun fact
them.
about them. Just
Now?
wait. Nope. I have to wait.
Fine.
Did you
So-
read any of those notes?
I skimmed them.
I wanted you to be surprised. Anyways.
You didn't tell me not to read them.
I know,
You got
you're
mad
right.
at me the last episode because I didn't
Okay,
read
so
parts of it.
what's the next extra that you insisted that we try?
So, you and I love scavenger hunts, typically.
Yeah?
I've done probably at least 5 scavenger hunts that I've created for you for your birthday.
Remember the
for
one I created
Christmas.
for you? And you had to like
So
spell something out in a different language?
I think I do a really good job. I don't boast about a lot of things. I think I'm good at creating scavenger hunts for you. I think I create
Agreed.
them where they are just difficult enough to tick you off for a little bit, but then once you get it, you're like, oh, that was easy. I'm just an idiot. So we've done one for Christmas morning. It took you, like 2 hours to go up and down the property.
Honestly, I was so
to figure it
mad
out.
because I just wanted to just get
You
my
just wanted to open
presents.
presents.
Yeah.
But my problem was I only got you 5 things. Like, that was the rule that year, was 5 things max. We had a monetary cap, and I wanted the experience to last longer than 5 minutes for you to open.
I
the
do
gift.
appreciate that.
So, yes, you've done a scavenger hunt for me where you... Your final clue was like, I had gotten all these letters.
This was at Disney World, by the way.
Yeah, we did it at Epcot, and I had to unscramble a phrase that was not in English, it was in German. So you not only expected me to just know German, which I don't know,
You're pretty smart, though.
and
You could
then
have
you
figured it
expected
out.
me to unscramble words that I've never even heard. So,
Well,
with no key, no guide, no like, this is in a different language.
listen, you said, give me a challenge.
Yeah,
I
I
gave
didn't
you a
expect for you to want me to unscramble Happy Valentine's Day from German with all these random letters. So, yeah.
Hey,
So,
I did
anyways,
my best.
because we love scavenger hunts, we saw, shortly after walking in, that there was a Lil Boo's Trick or Seek scavenger hunt. So,
This is for children, by the way.
yeah, I didn't know that. It was like $17, I think. I could be wrong on the price. But it was like $17. You got this little guide map, and you had to go to different locations for retail shops. And it was across City Walk, Islands of Adventures, and Universal Studios. Mm-hmm. And you had to go to all these different places and find a symbol in the shop around the little Boo setup on his like pumpkin sack. And then you had to correlate that to a letter, and then you slowly filled in these blanks. And what you got for this $17, in addition to this paper map, was an ornament.
Yay.
And that's really all you got. I tried so hard.
And
I was so excited about this.
We didn't even have tickets to Islands of Adventure, so we couldn't have completed.
And I didn't know that it included that before we bought it. So when I saw that we bought it, I
It
counted
was
up.
an
There was
impulse
only like
purchase.
Yeah. There was only like 3 letters I needed from Islands of Adventures, and they weren't all in the same word. So I had confidence that we could have filled in the blanks without those 3 letters, which we did. Halfway through, we realized that what it unscrambled to, or what it filled in, was like, I see you, Lil Boo, which was on the top of the map in big, bold letters.
It was the
And
hardest scavenger hunt we've ever had to do.
It was so dumb. We wasted so much time on that.
Sorry, that was.
And it was just an absolute bust. Would I do it again next year if they offered
No.
a different ornament? Probably.
Oh my God, please. Just be like, can I just buy the ornament and you can keep the scavenger hunt?
So it was really cool because we got to go to all the retail shops, and
And buy stuff.
we bought probably more than we should have. We both got a shirt. We
We
both
both got a
got,
shirt. I got some patches for my jean jacket.
Yep, those are really cool.
Yep.
We got not the lanyards, but the thing that goes on the bottom of the lanyards, like the
Oh, yeah.
medallions or something.
Yeah,
the
to
medals,
hold your.
to hold your tickets.
Yeah, I use that for work, so
Oh, perfect. I don't use mine at all.
I love it. Mine's Stranger Things.
Mine is Harry Potter, right?
Yep,
Mine's the
it's in the car.
the
Slytherin.
Death Eaters. Is
No,
it Slytherin or the
Slytherin.
Death Eaters?
Oh,
I think it's
don't know.
Death Eaters because I'm not Slytherin. I'm Ravenclaw.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm
And,
Hufflepuff.
yeah, you're a wannabe Gryffindor.
No, I'm a proud Hufflepuff.
Yeah, you are now. What did you say when you took the Pottermore quiz?
I'm
you
a
got
Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff, and you're like, I'm not Hufflepuff. I'm Gryffindor. And I said, that's exactly what a Hufflepuff would say.
Oh my God, shush. Okay, so
it's really weird side note. I know it's taken forever, but
bruh.
when I worked at the Apple Store, one of the coolest things we would do whenever you got hired was there was a guy that worked there that had a whole spreadsheet, and he would send you the Pottermore quiz, like the official quiz, to tell you what house you were in,
Good God.
and he would make you take this quiz, and then he would put whatever you were in his spreadsheet, and then he would tell you, like, oh, you're in Slytherin, so these are the other people in Slytherin that work here. you should really get to know them. And there was a time at the store where it was like a big deal. Like, people that were in Slytherin would only talk to people in Slytherin.
Oh, come on. That's ridiculous.
It was great. Most of the people I worked around were Ravenclaw. So we got along great. Like, we were the nerds of the Apple Store. So imagine the nerds of the nerds.
Yeah.
That's Ravenclaw. So we were
the
like...
Genius Bar?
So it wasn't even the Genius Bar. When I first started there, I was a Genius admin. So it was essentially like the secretary or the customer service of the Genius Bar. So we were in charge of contacting the customers about repairs and follow-ups and all that stuff. Really long tangent. Whatever. I feel like that's helpful to me. Really reliving my glory days. I loved working there.
No,
I would go back in a heartbeat.
I do not miss you working there, but...
So what else? What other stores do we go to?
The Tribute Store.
I love that store.
Oh, yeah. It's so good every single time.
A lot of the theming this year revolved around comic books.
Yeah.
And a lot of the comic books, I believe, were fan-based.
Maybe.
In terms of, like, a lot of the creators. If you follow any of the HHN Facebook groups, there were a lot of content creators or designers that would write and be like, oh, I just was told that my art's being showcased in the Tribute Store this year in a comic book, things like that. So that was really cool that they're actually bringing in people that aren't just in Universal Creative or just in the consulting companies that they work with for the set designs, but it's actually like everyday people that just are fans.
Oh, that's really
that
cool.
are good at design.
I think they have something like that every single year.
Probably.
Like, I remember last year, I think it was like the missing posters or something like that.
I think now we're noticing more. We're more entrenched in the actual the lore, the cult following of HHN.
So we didn't eat a lot of the famous food that was there, but we did. I always try to get a dessert from the Tribute Store.
Yeah, they have the best,
and this
like,
time I had like
desserts.
the macaroon or whatever. Oh, that was so good. You did try Chucky's. What was it?
Yeah, they had kind of an equivalent of a Nashville hot chicken in the Chucky area, right outside where Beetlejuice used to be, and now it's Fast and Furious. But aside from that, the line was super long. I think I waited half an hour. It was near the end of the night. I had tried to go earlier, and it was way too long, the line. So I think I waited until after they stopped selling the alcohol. So the line reduced to only a few people because I was in line, and then they stopped selling alcohol, and everybody got out of the line. So like, perfect. Everybody moved back up.
Jeez.
It was good. I mean,
Yeah, I tried one.
I don't know that I would have gotten it again
spicy.
just for the price.
Yeah.
But the flavor was good. It was spicy.
Yeah, they had a lot of good ones though. Like, I saw like a lot of different ones, and I'm not a huge fan of, like, everybody's like, I love the pizza fries.
You don't like them?
I don't.
I think they're overrated.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, the rat knocked something over.
Yeah.
Our little boo friend. So another and last extra that I'll talk about is the Megan horde that everybody was so excited about.
Yeah.
And we didn't actually get to see this horde.
We didn't get to see them dancing.
Right. We did see them afterwards, where they were taking photos with the people, and you got to line up and take a picture with them. So that kind of sucks, but honestly, it wasn't. Their choreograph.
The video was all right.
Yeah, I saw videos on it. It was pretty cool, but I wish we could have seen them dancing. But I wasn't about to wait around for them because you don't know when they're going to show up.
No, they were super sporadic, and it was only like a 2-3 minute show, anyways, when they would dance. Yeah.
And I will note that we didn't go find David Pumpkins or anything like that, just because.
No.
I don't know. I'm just.
He was his own thing.
I do. I do like David S. Pumpkins.
David S. Pumpkins.
But. Yeah, I'm not gonna wait around.
So he was
for
there.
That.
He was in the Peacock Bar area,
Peacock Lounge,
I believe.
Yep.
I mean, it seemed really cool. I liked the SNL skits.
If it was actually Tom Hanks, then
you'd
for
have
sure.
a line around the area. That'd be huge, just to meet Tom Hanks, much less David S. Pumpkins or the Skeletons, which they're part of it.
They're part of it.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any questions?
So, speaking of choreography, we didn't really care for the Megan Horde choreography, but that's a really good segue into one of the best experiences of the event.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
R.I.P. Bill and Ted. They lasted a long time.
I know.
But now they are replaced by a show called Nightmare Fuel.
Revenge.
Yes, this year was Nightmare Fuel Revenge.
Which
Was
I
it
thought was a
Revenge
neat
Dream?
concept that they, like...
Revenge or Revenge Dream?
Let me look at my notes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Revenge.
So this was their third year of this theme. The first year was kind of I feel like the first 2 years were very similar. I didn't really see any differentiating factor. It was, you looked at a person that fell asleep, and then the rest of the experience was their dream, where they battle dark forces, they battle all these kind of monsters of sorts.
Yeah.
And Nightmare Fuel is all about pyrotechnics. Mm-hmm. Is that ruining your summary of it that you were about to say?
Oh, kind of, but you were right. It's Revenge Dream.
Oh, perfect.
And this takes place, did you mention this on the on the Fear Factor stage?
No. It takes place on the Fear Factor stage,
Yeah.
of which I
You've
have
been on.
participated twice
You
in the Fear
won.
Factor show. My first time I went, I won.
Ugh,
I
so
came
proud.
first in the first round where you have to hang, 50, 75 feet?
Mm-hmm. You
It
did
was
so
75
good.
feet in the air. And I was the last one to hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I lasted the longest hanging on.
Yeah.
And then I remember in the last one, obviously I came in first as well because it was racing up the ladder. You have to pull the flag, then you have to go to the car, and then you're having to hang on. That was so much fun. My adrenaline
Yeah.
was pumping.
That's when I had really bad anxiety, and I just couldn't deal with it.
Well, you supported me well.
I did.
So yeah, I tried to
Videoed
do it
you.
again, and I don't work well in teams apparently.
No, you
because that was
don't.
my downfall the second time. The
Oh,
first time I did
yeah.
it, they skipped that event because they only had 5 people participate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all right, we'll just take the top 2 and then move on to the last round. So I didn't win a full show.
No, but you
I
did it
won
again.
both events.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it takes place on the Fear Factor show.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is the show that sparked your darkest dreams, and it has reignited. Let your nightmares burn out of control as the pyro and aerial performers fire you up to the beat of metal and electronica and sex, because it's very
Very erotic. Is that
very
an okay
erotic.
word?
Yeah.
It's like a burlesque show with
yeah.
rock and roll.
Yeah. It's really cool.
It's all of our favorite. It's all of our favorite types of music.
Yeah, kind
It
of.
started off 2 years with MCR.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah. It's
So
like a remix. Remix.
yeah. So overall, I really like the show. I think that this year they did really well at continuing the storyline and not staying stagnant. So I
Yeah.
felt like it was a natural progression this year to flip the script and make the dreamer almost replacing the icon character,
Mm-hmm.
the icon antagonist, the Nightmare Queen.
Yep.
So, and
She's so talented.
she is.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
There
So
are 2.
Nightmare Fuel utilizes a team called the Nightmare Fuel Girls, which I believe are based out of the UK. Could be wrong about that, but I think the majority of them are based overseas. And what was neat about this that I didn't realize is one of the girls that replaced the Nightmare Queen, at least the night that we went, she actually trains locally in Orlando at a studio as an aerialist with a girl that I did the college program at Disney in 2011 with.
That's so cool.
So kind of a weird small world. But I didn't realize that they used local talent for that type of show. I would imagine it would all be like their team and very internal to them.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool that they brought that in and kind of incorporated the local scene.
Yeah,
It's
that
kind
is
of a big
really
deal.
cool. Yeah, they got the best of the best.
Yep, and there's aerialists, there's pyrotechnics, there's
There's a lot more fire this
like
year.
fire, gosh, what are they called?
Fire people.
Yeah, fire people.
The ones that put their fire down their throats.
Yeah, fire spinners, I guess
Yeah.
fire performers. They used to have a big group in
They're not
Jacksonville.
called pyrotechnics or whatever.
Yeah. They used to have a big group in Jacksonville that did it. I was friends with a couple of them, and I don't believe they do it anymore. But
No, they
Like,
used to do
one
it
of the
in San
guys that I got
Marco.
a tattoo from in McClinney, and now he works in Green Cove. He used to be part of that group. I don't remember what their group was called. But yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of like
Cool.
fire performers. It's
Yeah, it's really cool to watch.
ridiculously difficult.
It's a lot to like look at. Like you're just like your eyes are just like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
And also don't take your kids. So there's
No,
that.
it's not super appropriate for.
No.
What would you say the age cutoff or age minimum would be?
For
14
me,
or
I'm not a parent yet, but
no?
I don't know, 15, 16.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they definitely say it's PG-13 at least. I
Ugh,
would imagine. I mean, I think
would-
the whole event is
I would say it's
from
rated R.
If you have normal kids, I would say the entire event of Halloween Horror Nights is probably PG-13. Now, having said that, we're not parents, but if we had a kid that was into horror like we are,
Oh yeah.
and was
I would take
constantly
him at
like,
5
we want to
years
go
old.
to Spirit Halloween, then yeah, I think if you set them up with the right information, and they're aware that like this is all acting, this is
Yeah.
all a story, this is how some of the props are made, this is how they control this. I don't think that 5 years old is too young.
No, but for the show,
For the show, it's
Okay.
that's too much. We would skip
okay,
that with
we're
them.
on the same page there. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I agree.
Okay, so that concludes our rankings for the scare zones and the extras that we did. And now we're going into
The fun part, the one thing we've all been waiting for.
Unmasking the Horror Tour.
Our first year doing it, we've
Yes.
put it off for so long.
I know, and we
Finally
finally
broke down and did it,
we
and
did it.
now
we did both. We did both the 3 house and the
Yep.
6 house.
because based on previous years, everything we could research, they don't typically overlap any houses.
Nope.
Not to say they can't if they have
Right.
any issues that day or in scheduling, but typically the 3 house and the 6 house tours don't overlap. Now that Halloween Horror Nights does, typically 10 houses.
Yeah.
The only one we couldn't go to this year was The Exorcist. The movie wasn't out yet. We couldn't do the tour, so we went into that one completely blind. So
Yeah.
we don't really have
It was
anything
basically
on
our
this tour.
trailer.
We have one fun fact, right?
About
About The Exorcist house.
oh no, I have a few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have a few.
Yeah. So let's just say like if you are interested in doing the Unmasking the Horror tours, we highly suggest it. The tour guides are amazing.
Yep, we
They
had
know their
David
stuff.
for the 6 house and Katie for the 3 house.
Yeah.
Fun fact about them, David, I believe, if I recall correctly, he's worked in some capacity at Universal for 30 plus years, not just in Florida, but also in California.
Yeah.
He has phenomenal knowledge about everything. He gets
Yeah.
to talk to the designers firsthand. He's very well known at Universal. Everybody he passes would wave to
Yeah.
him, "Hey, David."
Yeah, he's
And
super
he's
nice.
So nice, so
Yeah.
approachable.
Has the best dad jokes.
He does. And Katie was awesome too.
Oh, yeah.
She used to be one of the blood bag nurses. If you remember them passing those out a few years ago. So she used to do that, and I guess kind of transitioned into the a tour guide role and loves it.
Yeah,
Just
she's
as
really good at it,
phenomenal as
too.
David. Hasn't been there 30 years, obviously, because she's around our age.
I think so, yeah. But I mean,
So-
they're not the only two. There's so many of them, and they're all great.
They all set such a high bar.
Yeah, so the process of checking in is really simple. You basically check in, and then you get assigned to a group and a table, and you're checking in the Blue Man Group area. I think
Yeah,
that's
we
every
got
year,
there,
right?
I'm not sure. We got there
think
about an
so.
hour early because I am paranoid and anxious about being anywhere late. So
Yeah.
as soon as the ferries or the boats were running, we boarded the boat,
Yeah.
the first boat that
We
left
weren't
the dock.
that early though.
We were as early as we possibly could.
But now we know next time we don't have to be
Yes, but
early.
so to me, we're both introverts. Me probably more so than you.
Yeah.
So once I understood, the people that go to Halloween Horror Nights are already a culture that we typically fit in with.
Yeah.
The people that go on these tours
Oh yeah.
are even more our people.
Oh, for sure.
But that didn't click to me at first. So when we were waiting in that big bullpen area by Blue Man Group, waiting
Yeah.
to check in, you slowly start to see more and more people come up, and then you kind of stare and you're like, I'm not going to talk to them. That's weird. And then you realize these are all very similar minded people. Most of them have tattoos. Most of them have horror tattoos. Most of them are wearing haunted house t-shirts in some capacity or another.
Yeah.
Like, they are our people. We fit in just fine.
Yep.
And they're from all across the country, all across the world.
Yeah.
We met a mom and son that I think were from Scotland. And they
were.
said they come over every year. Used to come over for the event every year for like 5, 10 plus years. And I think this was their 3rd or 4th year where they've incorporated the Behind the Screams tours as well. And like, it's a must-have for them every year now.
Yeah.
And it is for us as well.
It is, yeah. And I'm so glad that we were able to do that this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool seeing the people that come back for the 6 house and the 3 house tour. There were, I think, 2 couples that we did both
with.
tours together. One was an annual pass holder, and it was so cool to see her perspective because she had already gone to the event a few times.
Right.
So she had a
It was
frequent
fun
fear
to,
pass.
yeah, it was fun to ask her questions. I'm like,
And she was also an introvert,
Yeah.
but loved talking to us, I thought.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it
You meet a
opens
lot of
everybody up.
Yeah, you meet a lot of cool people. It's really fun, and it's worth the cost. I know it's expensive, but it's completely worth it. And we'll tell you why, because you're going to learn about a lot of little fun facts that we learned that we never knew. So, do you have anything else to say before we dive right in?
Nope. What's the first house, Casey?
Okay, so the first house is Blood and Moon Dark Offerings. So did you know that the bell used in the bell tower is actually an upside-down plant pot
Sure did.
that resembles a bell? How did you know that?
They talked about it on the tour.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had forgotten it until I, saw your note.
I did forget.
But I did know that.
So you were talking about these frogs.
I was. We talked about it in the last episode. I'm really sorry. I skipped ahead.
That's
the last
fine.
episode,
Whatever.
I said that the Dueling Dragons house had a red frog and a blue frog, and it was the only house that had 2 frogs hidden.
That
so
was on my list.
tell us about why
Oh,
frogs.
oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I just hit it with my Stanley.
Your teeth?
Dupe.
Oh, yeah, your family. So why are frogs important? What do the frogs mean? What's the deal with the frogs?
So every single year they choose, and they meaning like the
Universal Creative or
Universal Creative or
the HHN design team.
yeah, the design team. They choose a random thing, and it could be like something super small to like put in each of the houses. And this year was frogs. So in this house, so every time we would go, and this is how we found out, is because when we first walked into the Blood Moon, I was just standing there, and David was talking, and I was like, "Ooh, look, a frog!" Like I motioned to you, and I was like, "Look, a frog is there."
Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool,
yeah.
it's a frog.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't think it was a big deal at
And
all.
so he was like, "All right, so somebody has already spotted one of our hidden frogs this year." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, we didn't. You had no idea this was a
Yeah,
thing.
no,
It was
I had no
literally
idea.
an off-the-wall comment that was a huge deal to our
Right.
entire tour.
So yeah, every
So
every
if you
house we
notice
went
something,
into.
say something. If you see something, say something. That's the
Yeah.
rule in these
Yeah.
tours.
Yeah, seriously.
And ask all the questions
Oh
you
yeah,
can.
we bombarded David.
Yes,
Sorry,
listen to
David.
other people's questions because everybody is looking for something different.
Right. So this frog's house could be found on a barrel to the left before entering the tavern, and it was wearing a bonnet. Isn't that so cute?
So I do want to make fun of you for a second. You
What?
just said this frog's house instead of this house's frog.
What?
Your last sentence was this frog's house.
I said that?
Yeah. And I thought, so in my head, I'm picturing this like tiny little frog house, and I don't know what a frog house looks like.
Aw, it has a house.
So yes, this house's frog was
Sorry,
on a
guys.
barrel.
I'm not dyslexic. If you think that, I'm not. Do you think I
Borderline.
am?
I think there's potential.
Oh God.
So
okay.
something else aside from the frogs that they do every year
Yeah, this was super
is
cool.
they have code names for the houses so that they can have correspondence throughout the office or behind the scenes without leaking the house. There's already enough information coming out that's probably leaked very strategically, but when they really do want things under wrap, they assign code names. And
Yeah.
all the code names each year revolve around a centralized theme or topic. So in previous years, they've used like kitchen utensils to describe them. This year, the theme or the concept of all the code names were fruit. So, what was Blood Moon's code name and why?
It was a plum because when you bite into a plum, it looks like a blood moon.
Fascinating.
That is fascinating.
It is. I love the sarcasm.
And I love Blum. I love Blums, really.
You love Plumhouse?
I do, but I do love... I'm tired. I love plums. We have like a ton of them in the fridge.
I don't like plums, but that's
They're
still
so
a really cool tidbit.
Cool. Okay,
What you got next?
do you have anything to add to Blood Moon?
Sure don't. I think I already got through all my things in the last episode. I shared all my fun facts.
I know. You're just listening to me talk.
I was so excited to talk about Behind the Screams that I just blurted it all out.
I will say that the behind the screams, so like every time when you walk in, so they turn on all the lights. Now they don't turn on any of the like sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not under show lighting or show
no.
audio. None of the effects are running.
No, none of the effects are
Which kind
ran.
of stinks.
I know.
But you get to see the set detail and
do.
design, so you would think, all right, the lights are off, it's limited lighting. They can probably do a haphazard job. Not at all. It is more incredible with the lights on. Their attention to detail is insane.
And they have people that go through with the lights on every single morning before they like open that night to fix stuff up. So they mark stuff, they touch it up, they see if there's any. It's like a hit
list every morning of what needs to be updated. If something needs to be repainted, they're gonna do it. If somebody messes up a prop and they need to fix it, they'll take it out. So like in Chucky,
I knew you were gonna say this. Go
in
ahead.
Chucky, when we did the Behind the Screams tour, I'm really jacking up with your system.
You really are, and come on, man.
Great. So in Chucky, there was a big bag just in the middle of the room in one of the first scenes.
We were
and
like, wait, what?
Somebody in our group, they were like, what's with the big bag? And he was like, well, officially, this prop is under repair. Unofficially, this prop got decked by some guy walking through and straight, like, punched this animatronic. And I would imagine there weren't a ton of animatronics in this. This one was right in your face. When we saw it with during the show, it was a really good animatronic. It looked very expensive.
Yeah.
So for them to have to repair that in less than 24
That's so
hours
annoying, though. Like people that do that.
Incredible.
Yeah, they did a really good job with like
fixed
turnaround
it
times.
super well. That was one of the few things that were working.
Yeah.
One of the few things that was working.
Yeah.
In the house when we went through.
Yeah, and this set was just so beautiful. Like. And obviously, it's like one of our favorite houses that we talked about. But
Dylan Kolath was the designer.
Yeah, it was so pretty. Like the amount of detail that they put in this house was like really good. It was well worth.
I did forget to mention in our last episode that Dylan Kolath also was the designer for Darkest Steel. So it makes sense that to me those are my top two houses.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to, because we got a lot to cover again, The Exorcist. So
The body in the blood.
We didn't get to go through this one, but I did want to have some little tidbits on that. So did you know that the house reuses the staircase and bedroom scenes from Halloween last year, from Halloween Horror Nights 31?
I did not know that. Nope.
You didn't?
Sure didn't.
Yeah, so when I was saying like the silhouette and the...
Oh, yeah, and they had Michael Myers at the top.
That whole staircase and that bedroom set is from Halloween.
That makes so much sense now.
Yep. So also, this house's frog could be found in the forest on the last tree to the right. Obviously, we didn't get to see this, but opposite of the cop, just before entering the barn where Angela and Catherine were found.
Yeah, I missed that completely. I didn't even think about it. I was so entrenched in the house.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
The frog was the least of my priorities.
I know. I'm not gonna look for. I'm not gonna look for the frog.
If we had, again, apparently we need to just move down there. We need to have frequent fear passes.
We're trying. Okay.
That'd be so cool. Anyways, so yeah, I would love to have the time.
I know.
To look for little details like that. But
So what was the code name?
Code name was Grape. because there's some scene in this movie.
We have to rewatch this movie because I don't know what they're talking about a grape.
Right. I know it's streaming. I think it's on Max.
Oh, perfect. We'll have to rewatch it.
But yeah, apparently there's a grape scene. I don't remember it.
Grape juice, maybe? I don't know.
No idea.
Maybe they just couldn't come up with anything else. They were like, grape.
Maybe. But that was the code name. That's all I got for this one.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on to Stranger Things. So this one was really cool to walk through.
Yeah, and you'd never, ever catch these details.
No.
During the event. Like, it's almost impossible.
It's impossible. It really is because it's so dark.
These details are 10 feet away.
Yeah.
It's dark. You have maybe, 10 square inches to recognize something that you saw in a flashing scene from the show. It's ridiculous. But incredible attention to detail.
So when we walked into this one, they let us walk into Eddie's room, which is in the trailer, to the left, right past the kitchen. You get to walk in the room.
A scene that you don't get to walk through in the house. Like, it's far removed, 10 feet away.
Yeah,
you
and
get
they
to see
have,
part of it, and that's
and
it.
even the things that are in that room that you can't even see when you're walking through the house.
It's fully detailed
It's
out.
super detailed, like
way out of customer's
stuff
view.
hidden. Yeah, it's
in
crazy.
full detail, not like half done at all.
Yeah, and we found out a little fun fact. In that room, under some clothes, a Michael Myers mask can be seen that he wears in one of the show's episodes. Isn't that so cool?
And there's also a one of the shirts that 11 wears.
Yeah.
Is also, I don't remember if it's in that room, but it's in a scene.
It's in the upside down scene.
Okay. I know it was included, and I know it's also ridiculously hard to see.
It is.
And again, with low lighting, you're never going to be able to tell it from any other clothing that they wear.
It's just, it's so fun to just like see. And they would like, even if it was a little bit dark in there and they didn't have any lighting, we were able to turn on our flashlights and kind of, and they even gave us like,
you could only take pictures in, I think, one area.
Yeah, Stranger Things was a difficult one because they didn't want, it was an IP.
Property house.
So, yeah. You know, I could not find the frog for this house.
I remember the frog.
Where?
So it was in the second scene.
Okay.
It was, so you were too busy looking at Vecna
Was.
in the hanging, like the sheets on the dryer line right outside.
Yes.
But if I'm not mistaken, the frog was on the porch banister.
Okay, I could see that.
I could be wrong, but I vaguely had that recollection that it was there to your left-hand side.
We'll have to rewatch videos and see if we can spot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody knows, let us know. So the code name for this one was...
It's a really strange fruit. To me, it's almost the strangest fruit that I'm aware of.
A kumquat.
Yep.
You're such a kumquat. That's so
I'm
strange.
sure that's going to be slang eventually.
Kumquat?
That guy's such a kumquat. Anyways.
Okay, I'm going to use that from now on.
Perfect.
Anyways, it was called a kumquat because it's strange.
Yeah, that's a strange fruit. I don't even know what it looks like, to be completely honest.
You? Just
Maybe.
kidding. All right, so,
What's next?
but yeah, this was a really cool detailed house. Dueling Dragons. So this one was, again, not my fave. But did you know? Go on.
I'm reading your notes, and...
Listen, I took this from that link, so don't come at me, bro.
Is this a universal link, or is this some random person spelling?
Oh, it's probably some person spelling.
Okay.
Did it spell Merlin wrong?
In your notes, if you copied and pasted it...
I did.
They spell Merlin, Merlyn.
Oh, it's Lin.
Which I feel like if somebody was going to name their kid Merlin in 2023, this is exactly how they would do it. So you caught me off guard. It's not the Merlin I remember, spelling-wise, that I grew up with.
Okay,
so that's
you might be
Sorry,
right.
you just caught me off guard.
Sorry. Okay, so Merlin spellbook can be seen open and the words glowing. An Oddfellow symbol can be seen on the left page, and symbol of the collector from the Darkest Steel haunted house can be seen in the spellbook as well.
Again, my thinking is that Dr. Oddfellow is the collector. But that's
you could
unofficial.
be right. Also, in Melon, maybe that should have been the, oh my gosh, that should have been the code name, Melon. it's not, but
It's not.
in Merlin's spellbook room on the shelf of books features one of the I'm going to say this wrong. Necronomicons from
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. Yeah, they spelled that wrong. From the Evil Dead franchise. So I thought that was so cool. Like when we were in the room or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, it's behind you." So I like looked at it, and legit, it looks like the actual Necronomicon. Blah 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 blah.
Where the Necronomicon actually originated in like stories, like what writer started that?
No.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and I didn't know that until I just read 4 of his short stories in the last year. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's based on the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Also, fun rabbit trail, fun facts.
Yeah, and isn't that the whole book like just with dead stuff on it? Like dead people?
It's supposedly encased in human flesh.
Right.
But yes, it's like the central point of the Evil Dead franchise, which is incredible. We just watched that whole franchise this year for the first time.
Yeah, it's so...
to prep for the new movie that came out.
Some of them are so stupid. I can't
They
even...
are, but they're so good.
The newest one was amazing.
Newest one was good. I like the old school ones because they were very campy. I would say borderline meta.
Yeah, for sure.
They definitely, after the first one, they're like, all right, we're just going to... The third one, for sure, made fun of itself.
Oh, so much.
But really, really well done.
Okay, so the frog in this house, like you said, was actually 2 frogs, one red and one blue, and donned in wizard hats.
I forgot about the wizard hats.
Okay.
And
Fun fact.
You have down here the names of the wizards.
I do.
Pyrock and Blizzrock.
Pyrock and Blizzrock. They were hiding across from each other in the woods surrounding Merlin's castle.
Mm-hmm.
They were wearing wizard hats.
Oh, it's so cute.
That's so cute. So what was the code name?
So the code name is a fruit that, as of tonight, we went grocery shopping, and at Winn-Dixie, they were buy one, get one free. Did you know this? Yeah,
no.
I didn't point it out, but it caught my eye.
You didn't tell me about a BOGO deal? What is wrong with you?
No, because you buy this in cans because it's far too difficult
I'm lazy.
for you to cut.
Yeah.
So a dragon's scales look like pineapple. No, I didn't have a stroke. That was a drum roll on my knees. So yeah, dragon scales look like pineapple. So the code name for dueling dragons was pineapple.
Pineapple. Okay, we got a lot to get through.
Yep.
All right, Yeti.
Yep.
Yeah, so this one was kind of cool to actually walk through because there was a lot of detail too.
There's a lot of scents.
There's a lot
they
of
definitely played
yes.
on your smells.
Yes, and that is a did you know fact. Many scents are pumped into the house to add to the atmosphere of the 1950s campground, including chocolate cake, popcorn, pine, and even some unpleasantness in the outhouse scene. Smelled like your poop.
In.
What?
I thought you were going to say urine.
No, your
Your
poop.
poop.
Not.
Yep. Oh, we finished each other's sentences.
So, the frog in this house. What?
Keep going.
Okay, so this house would have 2 frogs.
What?
Yep, kissing on a log during the lake scene.
I thought only dueling dragons had 2 frogs.
You're
That's
wrong.
what our guide said.
Well, he was wrong. She was wrong. One frog would later be given a mini raccoon skin cap to help fans trying to spot them.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I don't either, to be honest with you. That's something we might have to research.
Yeah.
We probably should have researched it before we said something, but
So
you know
Yetis are common in what country, maybe? I
Asia.
don't know. Yeah. So they did this. The code name was Kiwi.
what? Why?
Something to do with New Zealand. People from New Zealand are called Kiwis.
Oh, yeah.
Something
that was
about
so
Yetis
weird. I was
in
like,
New
wait,
Zealand.
what?
I don't know. There's some link there that we're not aware of.
The only
knows?
the only reason why I like put 2 and 2 together for Yeti in Asia is because of Animal Kingdom and Disney.
No, that's fair.
Isn't that like
Expedition
accurate?
Everest. That is accurate.
Expedition Everest.
Yep.
Okay.
So what's next? Chucky.
So this one.
They got gat.
They
And by
got
gat, I mean GAT.
So
which
did
is
you
a
know?
guest
Yeah. So a guest
rare.
active. Can you just let me talk? Okay. A guest activated trigger was in this house, and it was the bright red button. And when you pressed it, it activated fog and smoke coming out of a chimney.
There are rumors that it did more than just that effect,
Really?
and that it would cycle through a few different things.
Huh.
I don't know if that's confirmed. That's
I
what I saw
pressed
a
it.
lot of reviews. Yeah, when you and I pressed it, we saw the smoke out of the chimney.
It was cool. I love GATs because they're just so fun.
I do too. And when a house includes them and then they position an actor next to them, it really reduces the experience.
I agree.
Which is exactly what 13th Floor did this year.
Oh my god.
During,
Yes.
We'll talk about that then, but there was
That was
specifically a guest activated
Yeah,
trigger,
and I was ready to freaking
and there was an
press
actor
it.
there, and
Just pressing it.
he was like leaned over it, so only he could do it.
Yeah,
and it was
just
super
move.
annoying.
Yeah, that was
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, so also, did you know that Glinda is the first canon gender fluid character to be featured at Halloween Horror Nights?
I did not know this, but I'm also not surprised in
Yeah.
the slightest because I can't name another gender fluid character in a Halloween
Exactly.
franchise. Like
Exactly.
Glinda, they are ahead of their time,
Yeah.
and that's why they're my favorite Child's Play character.
Yeah.
I know that Seed of Chucky is one of the most hated movies in the franchise, other than the remake of Child's Play, which is like what, 2019, 2020, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The one where it's all the AI.
Nah.
I didn't like that. I don't consider it part of the franchise.
No.
I think Mark Hamill did a great job on the voice acting, but apart from that, like Don Mancini wasn't part of it.
Did you also know that he did like the voiceover for the house, like the whole house?
Who?
What's his name? Chucky?
Well, Don Mancini is the creator of Chucky.
No, the voice.
Oh my gosh. Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif.
Yep.
Yes.
And then his daughter Fiona Dourif
Yes.
is also in the show.
She's amazing.
She is the disabled girl
Disabled
in the. Well, she is. She's in a wheelchair
Oh, I know.
in Cult, Curse, and the third one.
Yep.
I don't remember what the third
Also,
one is.
another fun fact I learned that in the scene with Jennifer Tilly,
Mm-hmm.
she's in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, in the house.
Yes. So the reason why she has like, I guess the bubbles over her face
Mm-hmm.
is that whoever made the character looked way too much like Jennifer Tilly, so they had to like cover it up.
So they did such a good
They
job.
did such a good job.
They had to hide her work.
Yep.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
Yep. Also, did you see Glinda in this, like the Glinda actor or character in this house? I didn't until I watched the video back.
No, I didn't think they were included.
Yep, they were.
Really?
Yep.
The doll or the?
No, it was this character dressed
No.
like Glinda.
Was it dressed as Glenn or Glinda? Because in the show,
Glinda, I think.
Glenn dresses like a girl and Glinda dresses like a boy.
It was
Stereotypically.
Yeah, it was Glinda.
Okay. That's really cool. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I'll have to watch that video.
Yep. So the hidden frog of this house is featured in the forest scene and has a tuft of orange hair.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
So guess this code name. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Blue, not blueberry.
No, not blueberry.
Orange.
Why didn't they call it a mandarin?
Because that might be construed as racist.
What?
Chucky's not Asian.
Mandarin oranges?
No, I got it.
Little cuties? Halos?
You can't have little cuties and little boo, and you also can't have a Mandarin Chucky. All
Okay.
right, what you got next? Dr. Oddfellows.
Dr. Oddfellows. Okay, so this was so fun to walk through.
You have so many fun facts
I
about this.
do. This was my favorite house behind the scenes. So, did you know that despite the house taking place in the past, a wheel with white, red, blue, green, and pink can be seen with a figure, murdered female, tied to it as a reference to Amanda, Jack and Chance's victim from the Carnage Returns show during HHN 25.
I did not know that.
Fun fact. That's really
cool.
cool.
I
Also,
remember watching that show.
Also, a really other fun fact was that the facade of the house that we entered at the front,
Hmm.
it was underneath the bleachers of a tent. Did you know that?
I did, yeah, because it was essentially the people that had already seen the actual like circus, and they're like, "You want to see like the real show? The real show is back here. Come on, follow me."
I
So you're
didn't
actually
get
entering
that.
the back of the tent. They talked about that in the behind the screens tour.
I
Whereas
wasn't
like
listening
that's why
again.
you're not going through the official entrance. You're going behind the scenes where you're actually seeing these wanted posters. So there's a wanted poster of Jack Schmidt. There's a wanted poster of two other individuals. I don't remember their names. One of them, there are rumors that it's the actual identity of Chance. That was not
Oh.
confirmed one way or another because I don't believe we fully have Chance's backstory. So that would be really cool if they ever expound upon that in future years. I would love to learn more because she is an incredible character.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. And you've already said this, but according to the tour, at the end of the house, the trunk that Oddfellow has his foot on is the very same trunk that Jack's body was hidden in.
My bad. I was skipping ahead.
Whatever. It's okay. I have a few more. You ready?
Yep.
I think you're going to like this one. Did you know that the body of Billy the Doll from Dead Silence, The Curse of Mary Shaw, is hidden inside Dr. Oddfellow's carriage, while the head was originally in the scene but was possibly removed?
I did not know that, but
I didn't either.
Dead Silence is one of my
I know.
favorite movies because it is directed by James Wan. I
Yes,
think.
the best.
Am I right
think,
on
yeah,
that?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I think he's my favorite director of horror movies.
Yeah, so good. So,
No,
yeah.
I didn't know that, and the reason I didn't know that is because you said it was hidden, and I can't see through objects, so
Well,
I
now you
didn't
know.
that.
Now you know. This house's frog, not this frog's house, could be seen sitting on a wooden animal crate during the caravan scene after the lion scare, wearing a smaller version of Oddfellow's top hat. I love how they just
missed
add.
all these hats that
I
were on
know.
these frogs.
I did too.
That's nuts.
Isn't that so cute?
You know, this was a really odd house.
It was very odd.
And you know what else is odd?
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes are odd because I feel in my gut that tomatoes should be vegetables. But
No.
you know what? They're
Guess
not.
what? It's odd because they're both a fruit and a vegetable. And
Yeah.
that's because that was their code name for this house. Tomato.
Yeah.
Which makes sense too because it's red and Dr. Oddfellows is red.
Dr. Oddfellow is red?
Well, no, not him personally, but like the whole, there's just a lot of red in there.
Yeah, red was a primary color in that house.
I can't. Okay, so next one is Darkest Deal.
We're almost done.
We're
Just
almost
kidding,
there.
we're not.
I feel like we're like just giving out just like random and not talking about the actual behind the scenes. But I mean,
Well, this was going through behind the scenes. We learned all this stuff. So
that's true.
if you want to like experience behind the scenes,
I mean, all I can really
then
tell
pay
you,
for it and go yourself.
I
'cause
know,
it's
all
worth
I
it.
can really tell you is just the amount of detail you are going to be like, and you might even find some hidden stuff or not hidden stuff, but if you go after a night, I found somebody's wallet just sitting there. So I had to give it to the tour guide because.
I'm really proud of you for that.
Thank you. I mean,
Yeah, you deserve a
could've-
pat on the back. I'm
I
sorry.
could have pocketed that.
You could have, and I'm really proud of you that your conviction stepped up, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't keep this one.
Oh my God, whatever. You would have taken it.
I
Anyways,
would not.
so for the Darkest Deal, one of our favorites,
Yes.
I have a few. I have a few notes for this one.
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, so did you know that this house features an original blue score by Charles Gray, who is the VP of Art and Design at Universal Orlando, as he's a big music fan.
What? I did not know this,
Yeah?
and that's really cool. My original what I wanted to do for a living was I wanted to be a composer, but not just like any musical composer. I wanted to specifically write music for theme parks.
Yeah.
Because I remember walking through, it wasn't even Disney, it was Universal, that I remember walking through Jurassic Park and whatever the area is called where it used to have Poseidon's Fury. And I remember just listening to the music and how on theme it was.
Yeah.
And that made the biggest impact to me as a kid. And I thought, I want to write that music. Like, that's what I want to do. Because it's so underrated. Most people don't even realize it. They're just like, yeah, it's part of it.
No,
but no,
it's everything.
It's huge. So
It sticks with you, and like that's what you remember when you go home.
Yeah, so that's really cool that he got to do that. That's neat.
It was really cool. Also, did you know graves in the house feature lifespans of 27 years?
What?
As a reference to the infamous 27 Club. Robert Johnson died at the age of 27 and is considered the first member of the 27 Club.
Yep. Can you name any other 27 Club members?
Yes. Brittany
Murphy.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Beautiful. Who else?
My
Kurt
favorite.
Cobain.
Yep, my favorite in the 27 Club is Kurt Cobain.
There's a lot, actually.
Was Amy Winehouse?
Yes, I think
She was
so.
27 Club?
I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure
so.
she was.
There's been a lot. I mean, it's a big deal.
It's that, you know
for a
what?
reason.
That can be a good episode.
The 27 Club?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
For like conspiracy theories.
Mark that down. Jot it down. We'll talk about that one week. That'd be cool.
Okay,
I'd love that.
so also we've talked about this, but all the instruments in the house we couldn't take pictures of because they were either damaged or used for purposes other than music. So Gibson, Fender, etc.
Very obvious makes based on the shapes of headstocks and bodies and all that stuff.
Yep. Also, fun fact, the corn stalks in the entrance. So if you
they
are
brought them back.
if you are an HHN lover, enthusiast, you will know that they having corn anywhere,
fake corn,
real corn, anything
does not bode well for
that
HHN.
relates to corn is a curse for Halloween Horror Nights, because once they bring corn in, a hurricane
Hurricanes are coming.
is going to show up. And guess what? A hurricane came this year.
Yep. I'm really glad that it didn't interfere with our time.
Oh, I know. It was close though.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. I think it was like a week before we went. Week after. It was within a week.
It
of us
was,
going.
yeah.
It was very close.
And so they talked about that, and when we first like walked into the darkest deal, because there's corn stalks everywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, if you see corn at Halloween Horror Nights, just know that I'm sure a lot of people debated over that decision.
Yeah. Can I talk about the next
You can
one?
go ahead.
Perfect. I only want to talk about it because you texted me today.
I did.
And you said, hey, what was the name of that one dog portrait in that one house? And I was like, I know all about this, at least from what I learned this year. So there's a picture that the set designers found, I believe, at an antique store. And they bought it because it was just such a strange thing to find.
It's so cute.
It was a framed picture of a Pomeranian, and in the frame, it was inscribed Thunder, as that was the dog's name. So a Pomeranian named Thunder, or Thunder the
I
Pomeranian.
really wonder where that frame came from. Like, whose dog was this?
Who knows? I'm sure somebody out there is like, I know. That was my dog. That was Thunder. It was my great-great-grandmother's, and
That would be
she
so
loved that
cool.
dog. So yeah, they try to fit it into a house, I think whenever they can.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's only one. So in this year, it was in Darkest Deal, and it was in the very last scene above the piano, where Pine Straw and the collector are there, and the collector's like stealing Pine Straw spruces, are finalizing the agreement of getting his soul at the very end.
Yeah.
Full decked out like devil collector scene.
Yeah, and if
in that
and
corner,
a
it's
lot of
just
people
Thunder the
won't.
Pomeranian.
I know, and a lot of people won't see that because
No.
in that piano is a character who pops out and scares you.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't
So
see
it's,
that.
It's
but
there if you know it's there. It's a really eerie looking picture
it
too.
is. It is.
Like,
it's really funny. I mean, it's like
It's strange, but it's really cool.
Yeah, that was like probably the best fun fact I learned on this tour. So the frog of this house could be seen sitting in the graveyard scene on a gravestone wearing horns similar to the collector.
I'm starting to not believe this whole hat thing
Me too.
because
The more
we
that I-
saw, I think, at least 7 of these frogs. I remember the wizard hats on the frogs in Dueling Dragons.
Wait,
I do
wait,
not
hold.
remember.
Let me look at my notes from actual, like, when we actually went. Because did I write this down when we went about
No.
where each frog was?
No,
think
you
I
looked it up
did.
later. I didn't write it down. There was only like 2 houses where we didn't see the frog, and then we got to the end and we were like, hey, where was the frog?
Oh, yeah.
We missed Chucky, and we didn't know where the Exorcist one was. I think other than that, we saw all the frogs, and I don't remember any of this.
Listen, if I'm wrong, it's not me. It's
Yeah,
this.
somebody else made this up.
It's the Halloween Horror Nights fandom page on Wiki.
Yeah.
So, get at them if this is wrong. I'm going to link obviously I'm going to link them, but
Yeah, so what was the code name?
the code name was Apple, and I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I think it was something to do with the initial scene, or maybe it was even outside in the queue, that it was like kind of like an apple orchard to the left side, I think.
Okay, maybe.
It was like corn stalks.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They said something about that. Okay. I thought it was like Apple, you're making a deal with the devil, like that's what Eve did,
Ooh, might be
That could be
multiple
both,
layers.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Cool.
I just realized I didn't turn on any of the fun lights in
You
our
didn't.
studio.
It's all right. We've only been in here for 3 hours.
All right, what you got for The Last of Us?
So The Last of Us, again, not a lot, but
Meh.
did you know that the police car seen in the house is the very same car that is used in the Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City haunted house during Halloween Horror Nights 23 and the Psycho Scarabee Unleashed Scare Zone during HHN 25?
I believe, if I recall right, there were quite a few props that were from Psychoscarapy. There
Okay,
was
yeah.
the 3rd or 4th room where there was like the metal table with the prop that would like jump up.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, twitch
Everybody
and
thought
stuff.
that was really cool, and I thought it was really
Yeah.
lame, actually.
I thought it was neat during the actual like show lighting and with the effects going. I believe
All right.
that was also from Psychoscarapy. Could be wrong.
I don't remember that house, but that was a long time ago, so I
I
probably didn't
swear,
go.
if you tell me the frog in this house had some sort of hat on, I'm gonna freak out.
Listen, this frog could be seen sitting on a gas drum during Ellie's scene, donning mushrooms, as a reference to the clickers. So maybe he had on a mushroom hat.
I hope that means he was sitting on mushrooms.
I would hope so. Not
because
turned
he
into a
definitely
mushroom.
didn't have a mushroom hat on. He was not acting like Toad running out there from Mario.
Okay, I'm gonna need to do some
Yeah,
deep
I
dive
mean,
research
maybe you
on
should-
these frogs.
Maybe you should do some research before doing this.
Listen, I trust this Halloween Horror Nights fandom wiki page. They have so much content, and I love their breakdown of everything.
So I have a fun fact that I
ahead.
bet you don't have on this list because you didn't take a picture of it.
Oh,
So in one of the scenes, there is a car battery. Do you remember anything about the car battery? Oh, yep, it's all coming back to you. So there's a few keywords on this battery. It's been used in several haunted houses throughout HHN history, and it is all based around Jaws.
yeah.
Love that attraction.
That is so
R.I.P.
cool. I completely
really
forgot
miss
about
it.
that. That's a good one,
So
babe.
a few of the tidbits on this battery were it was considered, or it states on it, mega load on.
Megalodon.
Megalodon. Also, it's a group size J90, which is significant of Jaws, and it opened June 7th, 1990. I thought that this was one of the original attractions that was supposed to open on the opening of the park. I don't believe it did because of all the technical issues. This ride was significant when it came to technical issues.
I
It
miss
took
that ride
them
so much.
so long to resolve a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
A couple other things that it said on this battery was USF, Universal Studios Florida. Already talked about J90. That's written on there a few times. They also have on there NVU75, and that was because the movie Jaws released in 1975.
Interesting.
So all fun facts, a ton of details packed onto this one tiny little prop that if you're just filing in with the conga line, you're never going to know it.
Yeah, you're not. That's why going to the Behind the Screams is
Yeah,
worth it.
you got to take pictures of this so that I could remember all this stuff because I tried Googling
Oh,
this.
wait, I did take a picture of that.
Oh. I
I'm
tried
pretty
Googling this, and it is nowhere online. So if anybody finds a link about this Jaws-themed battery that shows up randomly at HHN, please let me know, because there is one part that I could not figure out a translation for, so I did not include it in my notes.
Oh, no.
So the code name for Last of Us, because Joel and Ellie are a duo or a pair,
Here.
code name was Pear
Pear.
for Last of Us. Pear.
Yeah.
Last house in one of our least favorites, even though it had so much potential. What you got?
Sorry, I was trying to look at my photos. Oh, we're on the last house. Okay.
Yep.
Universal Monsters. So, did you know that a poster in the Invisible Man and Mr. Hyde room, I know that you know this, but did anybody else know? It was made by the design team, and it reads, "It's a French poster. This makes no sense at all. We all have fun here."
It said that in French?
It did.
That's really cool. And I didn't know that until one of the people that we had made friends with, she was like, I heard this rumor that this poster says that, so I'm going to go look at it and ask our guide. So she did, and she was like, that's exactly right. I don't know who you heard that from, but yeah, that's what it translates to. So
Is that the
was really
photo?
Cool. Yes, Troy Nuits de something.
Muture? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak French. I can barely speak English.
I think that was it. I'm not really sure, but yeah.
All right. This really irritates me.
What?
Go ahead and talk about this frog. This is absolutely made up. It has to be.
It has to be, because no, you're right. When I was researching this, I didn't even read this because I thought, you know what?
just copied and paste. You know, I'm really shocked that Wikipedia
Did it
isn't on
flag
your
me?
reference list.
It will be.
You got your info for this factual podcast
No,
from
no, no.
Wikipedia.
No, go to the actual page. So this house's frog, originally wearing a miniature version of the Phantom's mask,
False.
could be found at the end in the catacombs during the Triple Scare, sitting on one of the
Fake news.
ducks before guests exit the house.
Sitting on one of the ducks.
Not a duck, quack, quack. A duck, D-U-C-T.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like an aqueduct, because we're in the catacombs, we're in the sewers.
Yes.
Okay. Not like an air duct, not like a quack quack duck.
No.
Okay.
Duct.
Just want to specify.
Oh my gosh.
So did you know that most of these movies that were featured in this Universal Monsters house, that they all came out around like the 1920s, 1930s, maybe 40s, and they were all in black and white? Did you know this? Have you seen
Yeah.
this? Have you heard about this?
I did that. I did know. That's why the code name is Blackberry.
Blackberry, because all the movies were in black and white, and so the code name was Blackberry. Yep.
Yeah. So
I am all out of fun facts.
me too. But we are gonna look up that the frog.
Yeah,
issue.
all the frogs wearing hats.
Anyways, the whole point is that there are frogs, and
Yeah,
they're
there are
cool.
frogs. The hats are unconfirmed, except for the wizard hats in Dueling Dragons. I remember those.
Wait, let me go back to the frog with. I remember the frog. I pointed it out at the.
I have a picture of
not
one
Dr.
of them.
Oddfellows. It was. Yeah, you have a picture of one.
I have a picture of one frog.
Let's see if it matches.
Okay. Go ahead and talk about something. Make up other facts.
Oh,
Make up some fictions.
I don't have anything to make up. I did want to mention that if you are interested in learning more of like the backstory of houses and stuff like that, or if you just like want to learn more about like Universal in general, they do have a Discover Universal podcast, and we'll link that in the show notes as well. But they kind of go over, and we listened to this before we actually went there, and they kind of like just said the story of each of the houses, and I don't think it was each of the houses. I think it was like
They only did like
the
3 or
scare
4.
zones or something like that.
I
don't
think they
know.
did one one or two about the scare zones, and then they did Blood Moon, and they did Dueling Dragons, and then
Yeah.
Darkest Deal.
Yeah, so they did like the good ones.
Yeah, they did the ones that we enjoyed the most.
Right.
So I did find
Okay, you
my
found it.
picture of the one in Dr. Oddfellows, and guess what? He is not wearing
Let
a
me see.
miniature top hat.
Let me see.
Like, no part of that looks like a top hat. That is a regular old frog, bro. That's, no. So, fake news. I don't believe any of these frogs are wearing hats, and now I'm even second-guessing the wizard hats on
Oh
the
my
Dueling
God.
Dragons one.
This is so funny. Okay, if we can share that picture, right?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't know what we can and can't share pictures of because we were told you can take pictures, don't post them. Like, use good judgment. So
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember which ones we have pictures of that are like
already
go
posted
versus
some.
no go. But you did that like right after the event.
Yeah.
So you had a little bit of recollection of like these are okay, these aren't.
Yeah. Anyways, we were gonna post the picture of the one frog, but it's okay.
Nah, it's like
It's
a 2-inch by
literally-
2-inch frog
Yeah.
from like the dollar store.
And they nail everything to the so
Yeah.
you can't take it. But yeah, you're right. I don't think any of these dang frogs had hats on them.
Nope, sure don't.
And that makes me mad because I was really like,
It sounds really cool.
it sounds cool.
So we can, they all had hats. You know, it's all coming back to me now.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure. Anyways, okay, we're running over time. So we hope that you enjoyed this this behind the scenes.
It was super long, so thank you
Yeah,
for sticking
thank
with
you for
us.
sticking
This was
with
a
us.
lot of information, but a lot of fun facts.
Yes, and it's so fun for us to talk about because we love Halloween Horror Nights,
Yep.
and I know that we know a lot of people who love Halloween Horror Nights.
And we only scratched the surface
I
on
know.
the background information that goes into this. Like
my gosh,
in the
yes.
scheme of people that follow this, we know very little. So
do.
every year we learn a ton and probably forget half of it. So
Yeah, so we
we'll
kind
do
of sound
this
like
a little
newbies,
closer to
but
the season next time.
Yeah.
So that it's all fresh. It's all right there.
Yeah, I had to go back and do a lot of more research because I
Yeah.
forgot about his stuff. But yeah, so just to recap, we talked about all the houses in each of our rankings, as well as the scare zones, shows, and extras. We also took you through our experience with Unmasking the Horror Behind the Screams. So I talked about the Discover Universal podcast as well, so check them out. Our next episode will be a review of another local haunt, so make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and leave us a review.
And I want to add something at the very end. I know this is last minute and I didn't tell you about it, but we got word from Gainesville Fear Garden.
Yeah.
We had our last episode was a review of them. They have let us know that they have signed a year-long lease.
Yay.
So that means they are a year-round haunted attraction now. They've got events planned for Christmas, for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day, for Arbor Day, all sorts of stuff.
It's like they heard us.
It's right.
Yeah, that was weird.
Took the words right out of our mouth.
Yeah.
So we're really excited. We're going to try to work with them in whatever way possible, even if it's just to gain more inside facts
Yeah.
about their haunts.
We'll see
So
what they do with it.
we posted a link to their website in our last episode, so go check that out. You'll be
Yeah.
able to buy tickets soon. We don't know the event dates yet for Christmas. We know they're working really hard to get it all together and get their staff going. So we're really excited to share more as we find out. And
Yeah.
other than that, that's all we got, guys. Thanks
Yep,
for listening.
That's all we got. All right, bye.
Bye.